Hi there, it's Donovan, and welcome back to the special hour, episode 29? 29, yeah, we are very professional. I'm joined by my co-host, Mr. Dean.
What's up, everyone? It's everyone's favorite person in the Nintendo community named Dean, because I think that there's only two of us, and I don't know if I'm just not going to say that.
Yeah, you have a whole treasure trove of Deans in the Nintendo community. You got Mr. Dean, and then you got that other guy that we don't like.
What a great way to start the episode, just with throwing shots at people.
Just throwing shots.
Hey, okay, we don't mess with grifters on the special hour, okay? So
that's our April Fool's episode. Yes. No promises.
Our April Fool's episode in January. Oh, you meant like the upcoming one in the future.
Yeah. Right. What have you been doing this past week?
It's been a pretty cool week. My semester just started today. I just got back a few hours ago from my audio production class, which what was funny about that? Yeah, no, it is. We actually are putting that to good use. But what's funny about that is my professor was mentioning that she maybe will like give us some kind of assignment for making a podcast, and I was like, it's funny that you say that.
Crazy.
It'd be funny is if we just made, whenever that assignment is due, we made that episode of the special hour tailored for my assignment. Like
we make a school-friendly version.
Yeah, I send Donovan a rubric, and then we make sure to hit whatever points we need to hit for it, whatever time limit. That'd be funny. We should do that. But yeah, other than that, just same old. What about you, Donovan? What have you been up to?
Yeah, so
sorry if I sounded like RFK last episode.
We have officially gone political.
So I had a sore throat, but
everything's better now. So I've just been playing video games. Couldn't be super social after suffering. So
that was actually a really good RFK impression, I have to say.
Thank you. Anyways, it is time to talk about what makes America great, and that's the games. The games are amazing. And
hey, Donovan.
To talk about.
Donovan, can we talk about this actually? Now that you bring this up, because I just find it funny. If anyone has been on social media and they've unfortunately come across the White House account, they've been posting about how whole milk is coming back to the country. Because I think this is a part of, I guess, like the whole Make America Healthy. That's literally what everyone is saying, Donovan. Because it's just funny because like they were like oh no, we're bringing whole milk back, and I was like, I could walk over to the local grocery store right now and get as much whole milk as I wanted, but whatever. I'm not trying to get too political, you know what I mean? even though like literally every single episode of the special hour has some joke about us making fun of MAGA, but whatever. But I guess this time we're making fun of MAHA, Make America Healthy Again. Right.
Anyways, the games. Is this a gaming podcast?
This is a gaming podcast. So yeah. All right. Yeah, Donovan, what have you been playing this past week?
Well, I think I've been slowly getting back in the groove of Animal Crossing New Horizons ever since the version 3 update released. It's not the biggest update in the world, but it was enough for me to get back into the swing of things, and I've just been having a lot of relaxing, fun times. I'm more intrinsically motivated to decorate my island and make it cool, so I've just been getting back in the groove, getting some items. Not so much grinding. I've been investing in the turnip market. It's just been a fun little thing that I've been doing this past week. Nothing too crazy in Animal Crossing. Just getting back ever since I made a video, and I'm like, you know what, maybe I do like Animal Crossing again. Now, by the time this podcast releases, I'll also be playing Final Fantasy VII Remake Integrate on Switch 2. I've already played the demo, and I basically know pretty much everything about this game, so I'm just excited to jump back into the world of Final Fantasy VII, and it's a very, very, very impressive port. I'll probably be playing this on the go at school, and at home, docked in TV mode. Just gonna be a fun action JRPG. Anyways, what about you?
Donovan, I really love how every single week during the special selects, you always give a little sneak peek of what you're going to be playing.
It's because, I have to keep in mind, like, when we're recording, this is happening, it's going to be released a week later. Yeah. So by the time I talk about things from this week, it might already be outdated.
Well, and the good thing about Animal Crossing, as an architecture student, I'm sure that like building your town maybe will come in handy with your architecture homework.
Yeah,
probably.
the whole
because it's the same,
hotel
right?
thing.
Yeah, it's the same in real life in Animal
obviously,
Crossing.
it's definitely the same. I show it to my professor, they'll give me an instant A. But I do appreciate the hotel and even the Happy Home Paradise DLC from 2021. I do like interior designing. It's fun, relaxing. And I know some other people don't like the whole designer direction the series is going towards. But I've made this disclaimer before. I've never played any other Animal Crossing game other than Pocket Camp, so I've only played New Horizons.
Which is crazy.
This is just my home. This is what my Animal Crossing is. And I'm not trying to piss off anyone that likes the older Animal Crossings. I'm just saying, as someone who started with New Horizons,
grow a pair of balls, okay? Who gives a fuck?
This.
Make fun of the old Animal Crossing. Make them mad.
Fuck Animal Crossing, fuck Wild World, screw City Folk, and New Leaf. I hope that Leaf rots and disintegrates.
Yeah, New Leaf sucks. Right, I can't wait for how many views this is going to get now. Okay, anyway, I still have not answered the question at all. It's been 1 minute since you asked me. The past week, I've been wrapping up Metroid Prime 4. I'm not fully done yet because I got sidetracked and I recorded all of New Super Mario Bros. U and New Super Luigi U. Yes, I got distracted from Metroid Prime 4 by New Super Mario Bros. But yeah, as of right now, on Metroid Prime 4, I'm in the Great Mines. So I'm pretty sure that's like towards the end of the game, right? I don't know exactly how long it is.
3/4.
Yeah, I'm almost there. So I'm sure by next week I'll be done. In terms of New Super Mario Bros. U and New Super Luigi U, I already kind of had my opinions on those games solidified, but it's very derivative, but it's also fun at the same time. Although I think I played both games back to back in such rapid succession that I definitely fatigued myself out by the end of New Super Luigi U. But I finally have footage of those games, so I can finally actually make videos talking about them. I was thinking maybe, what if I do a video ranking every level? I feel like that'd be pretty cool.
Every level,
yeah,
of the entire New Super Mario Brothers series.
Yeah, I could pull an Odyssey Central and rank like 700 levels in one video, and it ends up being like 7 hours. They're all gonna be like a blob.
It's gonna be the same.
Yeah. All right, so yeah, we can kind of go and get into the main gist of this episode. So this is definitely an episode where me and Donovan were trying to think outside of the box about what to talk because nothing was fucking happening in the Nintendo world. So.
But Sonic is he might.
Yes, so Sonic might be coming to Fortnite. So for any Fortnite people, that's out there. You can get hyped about that. I know me and Donovan, Fortnite is one of our favorite games. So we didn't want to not mention that. Oh, okay. Okay, I thought you were going to say something.
And the weather is amazing today. Apart from the cold.
Yeah, so anyway, the idea that I had for this episode was to decide once and for all what the best Nintendo controller is. Even though I think we already know the answer going into this, but I needed some way to make it climactic. You know what I mean? We need to like add suspense. But yeah, we're gonna go one by one through like the mainline Nintendo controllers and a few extra ones that we wanted to throw in. Give our thoughts. Maybe should we grade each one like as if it's like a school assignment or something?
Yeah, I think that'll be more spicy.
Yeah. So how about should we give a letter grade or like a score between 0 and 100? What do you think?
I think a letter grade is
letter grade.
That's
all right,
fun.
So we're gonna do we'll do A for like we'll follow the school grading rubric.
A B C D F.
Yeah, we'll do
A. Are we being nice and not doing F? We're giving an E.
No, we'll do F. No, we'll do F.
That's what my school does for some reason.
Well, that's odd. We'll do F. All right, so starting off, we'll go in chronological order. I feel like that only makes sense. The first up, we are going to talk about, I know technically it's not like the very, very first Nintendo controller, but it's the first one we're talking about for the sake of this episode. And I can't imagine that any controller before this would have any shot of being the greatest of all time. We have the NES controller, the one that really started it all. So we didn't really talk about like what criteria we were going to be following. Are we talking about how good the controller is in a vacuum? Are we talking about influence and how important it was to the gaming zeitgeist? Like what are we going for?
I was thinking of a modern lens, but also we can take a factor when it was a contemporary piece of technology.
Right. All right. So obviously NES controller was massively important. You know, I believe it was the first time the D-pad was introduced, right? Because before that, it was really just arcade joysticks that...
Yeah, I mean, well, the D-pad was on the...
Okay.
The D-pad was on the Donkey Kong Game & Watch before that. But then, yeah, this is the first time it's heavily featured on a home console.
Yeah, I know the only problem I've ever really had with the NES controller in terms of how it's held up is the pointed edges kind of digs into your hands a little bit.
They're stabbing my palms.
Yeah, but other than that, I mean, it is definitely a pretty, like, I would say it's, for the most part, held up, especially compared to other controllers from the early to mid 80s or even before that.
Yeah. So, compared to its contemporaries, this is probably an A+, but nowadays it's very, very basic. It's just 2 buttons, a plus control pad, and start and select, which we don't really see that much anymore.
Right.
Fun off-topic story. Hi, Scott Stash. I just think it's very basic today. I'd give it a C.
Do you think C though? I feel like it has to get like a B- at least, just for like
just for importance.
Just for importance. Like it changed the game, no pun intended. Like it really did. And also, I will say the NES controller, in terms of the visual aesthetic, looks beautiful. Like the coloring, the way like the red, like that vibrant red and the black kind of like punch with each other to give you that like vintage 80s vibe.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think it's so cool.
If we want to get really extra, the Famicom controller looks even better, in my opinion. The red and gold, the gold accents. Mwah. But if we're sticking to truly American controllers.
We're in America, Donovan.
We're in America. The NES controller, pretty radical design, yo. So
what the fuck?
I guess because of its importance, yeah, you can bump it up to B. My heart says C.
No, B- is the lowest I'll go.
B-. All right. I'm just thinking C. C is just average. Like you pass the NES, you're probably good to go.
Yeah, I'm fully...
You're set.
I'm fully putting myself in the school analogy. I'm imagining it scored a C, but we gave it some extra credit because it turned its assignment in a few days early. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. All right, next up, we have the older sibling of the NES controller, the NES Advantage. This is easily like one of the funniest controllers of all time.
It's a giant fighting pad.
Yeah, I feel like, see, I've never held this one before. I've never made finger to finger contact with that sounded weird.
Interesting sentence.
Yeah, I've never touched it, so I don't know the ergonomics of how it actually works whenever you're using it. It looks like you said, if you're playing a game that demands like combos and stuff like that, it would work very well. I think it's really funny how there's like a slow button too, and I'm pretty sure it just like spams the pause button when you're in game.
There's also, I see a turbo button, which is just auto clicker.
I don't know, it's just like the way this is laid out is just really funny. But
yeah, this is just a quirky little guy.
I can't imagine I would ever want to use this aside from maybe a fighting game. Like if I'm playing Super Mario Bros. Or The Legend of Zelda, fuck no. Plus it's like the NES Advantage. It's just that name is just so 80s. I love how at the bottom left where the text is, the Nintendo logo is not centered on top of it, or it's not aligned in a way where it's like visually appealing.
I love the random lines they have.
Yeah, I know. It's like it's like Rob the Robot.
Why is it rotated at a slight angle?
Because Nintendo.
Is that Advantage? Does that give
it's because it's
a
Nintendo.
leg up for some reason? Also, how many great arcade ports or great like fighting game arcade ports were there for the NES? Well, I guess maybe this would work well with Galaga, maybe Pac-Man.
I don't know. I think this one is gonna get a D+. It just feels like it's a very the purpose that this controller is serving is very niche. For what it is, I think it's cute. It's adorable. However, it's not very practical. And for 99% of games, I would much rather just use the actual NES controller.
I agree with a D. Yeah. Or at least a C minus, but a D works perfectly fine.
No, Donovan, there is no way we are putting the NES Advantage just one letter grade below the actual NES controller. That feels so terrible.
I just feel like maybe for like certain arcade games, this is actually probably in some ways superior.
Donovan, yes, that's correct, but that's like for barely any of the NES games. Like most NES games, I'm sure the original is much better.
How well would this work for Urban Champion or Punch Out? Not really. Well, maybe. D is fine. I noticed on your list that you forgot to mention our next controller, the NES Max controller.
Oh,
have you seen that before?
Yes, I have. Well, the NES Max is the one that's like the dog bone, right?
This one's actually shaped more like a
PS1. Oh, okay, never mind.
So this one, I'm actually going to give our first F. This is where is the fucking D-pad?
Why are there like those weird ridges on the side of the controller? This is really funny.
Look at B and A. They're so close together. It might as well be the B button.
Yeah, it's the B.
So there is no D-pad. It is that little, it's like the precursor to the circle pad, except it looks like it doesn't snap back to the center. It feels like, I've never touched this before, but it looks like I'd be moving like a character around with like a bar of soap in a dish.
Yeah, I hate the way the text is laid out on this thing too. Like, yeah. I don't like how the NES Max logo looks really terrible. Especially, it's like how the NES is above the Max a little bit, almost like an exponent, except it's on the other side of the word. And then you have the trademark logo, but so there's like 3 different sizes of text. And the font looks, I don't like this. Yeah, I agree.
Again, what is with the slightly inclined buttons? I think the inclined buttons would be better if it was facing more downwards, because right now you kind of have to do like a certain claw grip to hold this controller while hovering over B and A. It's a little strange. I don't know why Nintendo loved doing that. For their alternative controllers.
So I imagine that, because aliens have to be real, right, Donovan? Like, I think that,
yeah, of course.
So I'm just imagining if like an alien crashed down on Earth and I was the one to make first contact with it, I feel like this controller is kind of what it would look like. Like I'm looking at the BA button and like the weird fake D-pad thing, and it almost looks like eyes, and like the start and select looks like a little cute little like mouth. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
and
it's a little freak.
Yeah, the turbo buttons are like almost like little freckles on its cheek. Like it's kind of cute. Like a little. Like
yeah.
If you slant your face, it looks like you're looking at like a
So now
cute little.
The turbo buttons kind of look like the standard 4 buttons on like a Super Nintendo controller. Yeah. So it's a little strange. Obviously, yes, if I was in the 80s, I wouldn't know what to do with 4 buttons unless I was on like an Atari where they had a whole number pad. But. Yeah. This is just a big question mark, and that little circle pad just rubs me the wrong way.
I think F for sure. This is definitely F. All right, next up we got the Super Nintendo controller. This is, I mean, all right. Are we going A plus with this one? I mean, I feel like this is easily in terms of retro controllers, it really does not get better than this. I feel like.
Yeah, I give it an A. I wouldn't say A plus because there's just better controllers, I think.
Well, there are better controllers, I guess, but you have to take into account the fact that this thing came out in 1992, 1991, something like that. The fact that it is still so comfortable to use today, specifically, of course, with like 2D games. I mean, you can't really play a 3D platformer, for example, with this. But for what it is and what it is able to actually accomplish, it is wildly comfortable. The only thing I don't like about this controller is the start and select buttons. They feel kind of like weird to press down on. Aside from that, the D-pad is beautiful. I love how the A and B have like the kind of like, it's almost like a little hill that forms up, but the X and Y is like convex where it like digs in a little bit. The bumpers feel good. it just like fits magically in your hands with those rounded edges, and aesthetically it's gorgeous as well. I love like the dark purple and the light purple that's used on the face buttons. I would honestly argue this should be a minimum. Like if not, this is a genuine contender. Like if someone said that this was their pick for the greatest Nintendo controller, I would not be able to be like, no, that's stupid. You know what I mean? Like it's not fair.
Yeah, I really love the texture of the Super Nintendo controller. It just feels so good. The D-pad is also very good. There's just not much to complain about. What is there to complain about? Like, you just said start and select.
Yeah, but even that's like a nitpick. That's not a major thing. That's
there's really nothing you can go wrong. We are here at the special hour providing groundbreaking opinions.
So what's up with that version of the Super Nintendo controller though with the face buttons that are like red, yellow, green, and blue? Is that
the international ones?
Yeah, I'm not as big a fan of that color scheme because it feels like I'm like a kindergartner just like clicking buttons to like, you know, like distract myself or something. I don't know. I feel like the purple, like it just clashes so well.
The purple accents on both the controller and the system, they match so well.
So beautiful.
It's that design cohesion that maybe that you think the color buttons lose. I'm not opposed to the color buttons.
I don't hate them. It's not bad.
Reappear on the new Nintendo 3DS.
Yeah, no, it's not
those.
bad. It's just I definitely would prefer the slickness of the American model. Once again, I'm so American. So patriotic.
Again, there's nothing really to complain about. This next one, however...
Oh, there's definitely a bit to complain
many questions.
About. Okay, so are we officially going A with the Super Nintendo?
Yeah, A.
Okay, Virtual Boy. We got the Virtual Boy. I feel like I always forget that this console existed. So are we including wearing the headset with... Because, I mean, I feel like you have to...
No.
But you're not using this controller without the headset on. I feel like the headset has to be a part of the grading. Because think about it. No, the reason why I say that is because it's not like a modern VR headset where you could just be standing up and wearing it, but you have to be like awkwardly crouched down on top of a table to use it, which means that I feel like that factors into the way you hold the controller in a way. You know what I mean?
No.
Okay. All right. I'll just go fuck myself.
Okay. Well, I've never held one, but judging by the looks of it,
it looks fucking
the Virtual
hideous.
Boy
disgusting.
Okay, wait. The controller came out around the time of the PlayStation, but it looks like the grips. They actually look pretty comfortable. I'm not gonna lie.
I just don't agree.
It looks big. It looks comfortable to hold. It feels ergonomic. It looks like it feels ergonomic. That's the key word.
Donovan, I can't tell if this is a bit or not. I genuinely am losing track of if you're being serious at this point.
No. Okay, I'm looking at pictures right now. They got little... It looks like it has grooves on the back of the paddles so your fingers can more comfortably rest on. I feel like that's kind of a plus. I feel like that's a logical step in progression before we get to the good old N64 controller. I guess a drawback of the Virtual Boy controller is that it has a ginormous fucking battery pack. I believe this battery pack also powered the Virtual Boy itself. So if you like playing with a giant brick in the center, you got the Virtual Boy controller. Thoughts on the two D-pads?
Donovan, there's a lot of thoughts I have. The two D-pads wasn't even in the top 3 of what I wanted to talk about. First of all, if I'm talking about my color theory, as I've been talking about with all these controllers, I'm not a fan of the red and like weird light gray face buttons. It just does not clash at all, in my opinion. It just looks, you know that feeling that you get whenever you sometimes will look at something and it makes your skin crawl? Like it feels like...
What other color would it be?
Like I feel like someone should exercise me with the gross feeling I have inside. Like I feel like there's a demon that's possessed my body looking at this controller.
What other color would it be?
I don't know. I just wish this didn't exist, Donovan. I feel like the alternative is this thing should be nuked into oblivion. I think that the controller is absolutely disgusting looking. I would rather use the NES Max.
No, you're crazy. The NES Max has like tiny little paddles. This one has ginormous ones. They look like
sad.
the holsters of a gun.
Yeah, and that's exactly why I think it looks weird. Like, why are the stems of what's it called, the handles. The handles.
Yeah,
why are the handles? Why are they so
I don't know why
lanky?
I'm calling them paddles. I don't know. It just looks big and girthy and good to hold.
No,
in
that's
the
the
hand.
opposite, Donovan. It looks the opposite of girthy.
I think it looks girthy on the wideness.
Can't believe we're talking about the girth of Nintendo.
more so like the height of the of the grips than the front-on view. The front-on view, yeah, it looks a little tall and skinny.
This thing just makes me feel uncomfortable. It's like it's the same feeling I get whenever I'm watching like a thriller movie and I'm like, I know a jump scare is about to happen. That same sensation inside my body is coming whenever I'm looking at the Virtual Boy. I think that this thing is just absolutely pathetic.
It has weird shoulder buttons. It's not really shoulder buttons. They're more so positioned as triggers, but they're still buttons. They're like round buttons on the back I'm seeing. That's a little strange.
That's,
I don't know,
Donovan. That's what's strange. That's the strange part.
I'm just saying the Virtual Boy looks comfortable. That's the only thing I'd give it credit for.
Okay, what's your grade? Because
so
you're not going to get me to agree.
Just on comfort, D plus.
So you did all that glaze, bro. You were doing tricks on it, Donovan. After all of that, you're like, oh, D plus. I thought you were going to say like A.
The thing is, I made like in my head the NES controller the benchmark. The NES controller is like basic bitch. It's like nothing wrong about it. It just checks all the boxes. This one, it's just an NES controller with the weird shoulder buttons on the back, a second D-pad, but what it has above the NES are those grips.
You're fucking kidding me. You're fucking
They
kidding
look
me,
grippy.
Donovan.
So I said D plus initially because I'm like, okay, well, it's the Virtual Boy. We gotta make fun of it. But if I'm giving it some credit with those grips, C plus.
All right, so thank you for watching the special hour. All right, the absolute highest I'll go is D plus. I am not going above that.
Dude, it just looks comfortable to hold.
It just doesn't. It just doesn't, Donovan.
Hey, come on, get those grips, man. Those grips.
Do you want to move on to the Nintendo 64? Because you would have to spend an entire episode trying to convince me that the Virtual Boy is a good controller.
Okay, N64.
Right. So Nintendo 64, for as unconventional as this is by today's standards, there is no denying the impact that this controller had, especially with, it was the first one to have Rumble, right? Like with the Rumble pack, I think.
Yeah, technically an add-on, but yeah.
Technically an add-on. See, you've pissed me off today, Donovan. Like, I'm actually... okay.
Do you like the giant the connection port on the back that it's just a gaping hole?
Yeah, it is pretty funny. It is, yeah. This is one that I will give bonus points for it looking funny. Like it like it takes that whole joke about like having a big dick, so it being like a third leg. It takes that to another level. It should
be censored.
It really should be censored. The Nintendo 64, like if we're talking about girth, Donovan, like that thing.
It looks like it'd be a great Star Wars fighter pilot.
Yeah, no, it looks like a lot of things, Don. Like, but I don't know if I was thinking Star Wars fighter pilot. I was thinking, I can't say that on the podcast.
Well, that's the Wii remote.
Yeah, well, we'll get to that sex toy of a controller in a minute. But
the D-pad's big.
Yeah.
I haven't used the D-pad a lot because there's not too many games that should use the D-pad. My biggest question is the 4 C buttons. At least with A and B, they actually got the orientation right, and they angled it downwards, but we lost X and Y for... actually, no, we have L and R, we have the Z button on the back, but then we just got 4 C buttons.
No, okay, I don't hate the Nintendo 64's, like, button layout. Like, especially the coloring is so bizarre that it actually kind of works. The fact that the 4 face buttons are yellow, then you just have blue and green, and then red, and then the D-pad and the analog stick are like gray. It's so all over the place.
I do like the start button. It's just a big red button. It just feels like whenever you press that, it feels like a Ferrari start engine button. Just like, bam.
everything about this controller is just so unconventional that I actually kind of like it. The only problem, really, and this is the thing that people always talk about, but because of the fact that there's 3 prongs, there's no real convenient way to play like any play style with one way of holding the controller. You either have to hold it like a modern controller where you have the 2 outside prongs is what you're holding on to, or if you're playing a 3D platformer, you have to kind of like put your left hand on the giant gaping dick that it has in the middle, and you have to hold on to the analog stick.
Thoughts on the control stick?
It's a little flimsy, not durable. You could say.
My thumb always falls off of it. I feel like it's too small.
I feel like people that played Mario Party 1 have horror stories about what happened to the palms of their hands.
I like the notches. The notches are cool.
Yeah, I feel like the analog stick just feels very tall, but like uncomfortably tall to where it always just feels like it's about to snap off. You know what I mean? But, you know, like, once again, this is a very important controller.
Okay, thinking about the grips now. These are actually also pretty comfortable.
Yeah,
so
these are
maybe
comfortable.
I'm now that I'm remembering how the grips feel in my hands, I'm actually gonna knock down the Virtual Boy and make way for the N64 controller.
I'm glad that you've understood that you were being delusional with the Virtual Boy
I was a little delulu.
Yeah. This is an actually comfortable controller.
Yes. I do like the Z button on the back. Again, it feels like a gun. It feels nice.
Very American of you to just be thinking about
very
guns
American.
all the time.
So those grips, they feel ergonomic, whereas the Virtual Boy was compensating with those the finger molds. Here, it just has a nice thicker base. Wow, this is a great podcast. We should start a side podcast just on other things, but overall,
things.
I'd grade this. Okay, so I'm moving the Virtual Boy down to actually just a D.
Just give it F. Just throw it down to F. Like, what are we doing?
No. I'm still giving it a D. This one,
I would say B. I would say B or B minus with the Nintendo 64.
B minus.
Yeah,
B minus.
Okay, I'll compromise
because
on
2D games. I think my biggest problem is that there are 2 different ways to play with this controller.
Right.
You got to switch your grip, and that makes basically one area of the controller completely worthless when you're playing a 2D game or a 3D game.
Okay, so we got B minus with the GameCube controller. Next up, the GameCube controller. Beautiful. Okay, you don't need to come on live air, Donovan. All right, so GameCube controller, there is one complaint I have about the whole controller, and other than that, it is basically perfect. And that one complaint is the D-pad is way the fuck too small. But other than that, that's like everything about this controller is beautiful. The button layout it shouldn't work as well as it does. It's like the way they have the X, Y, and B button orbiting around the A button, and they're all different sizes too. But the A button is gigantic because obviously you're going to be using that one the most. The camera button, I kind of like how it's like locked on to the different directions. Same thing with the analog stick. And then the triggers, you got those sweet analog triggers, Donovan. And then the bumper on the right feels so good to just like click it because it's like instant.
Those analog triggers they feel so good.
At first, I used to not like the fact that there isn't a left bumper, but honestly, it's like kind of a cute quirk about this controller. Like it makes it more memorable in a way. So
like it has one dimple on one side of its face and nothing on the other.
Yeah, it's like whenever a person has 3 nipples. Like, you know, it's just a beautiful oddity about them. Yeah, have you never heard about that? There's people with 3 nipples.
Can you put up a picture for the video? I think the button on the side isn't that's just the Z button. I feel that it's a little strange that there is no left bumper button.
Well, it is strange, but it's like I've thought about it as like cutesy strange though.
I feel like it's missing an input. Just imagine like being a game developer porting your PS2 game to the GameCube, and you're like, where the fuck is the L1 button? I love the notches. This is the best sounding controller.
Yes,
period. I have
clicky.
Watched ASMR videos on this controller. It's crazy. It sounds immaculate. Why is the C stick
I
smaller?
don't know. Why? I just wish the D-pad was more comfortable to use. That's literally the only complaint I have.
The left control stick feels amazing, but then you just got the C stick that doesn't feel the greatest. It's smaller.
But you don't really use the C-stick as often, though, so I feel like it isn't as big of a deal.
I guess that's true. Games of that time were more so using tank controls for like first-person shooters. But I'm like imagining if Halo was ever a thing on this console, it would feel terrible.
Yeah.
But instead we got Geist. I think the D-pad is terrible. D-pad. Imagine playing 2D games, and also the button layout. I do like it for Smash Brothers.
Oh, that's such a new opinion that I've never heard before.
Yeah,
One of them.
but like X and Y are placed so strangely. I can't really imagine playing like a Super Nintendo game on this. The button layout I like for certain games, but for other games it's a big question mark. But I still really like the controller purely for the sounds, the notches, that single analog stick on the left, the triggers feel amazing, and the giant A button just right in the center feels really good, that I can look past some of the oddities that it's missing. So
I completely agree. I would say A minus, because I do agree with you that this isn't a versatile controller. You know what I mean? Playing 2D platformers on this thing sucks. Playing, like you said, like a Super Nintendo game, this would not be a good controller. So it doesn't embody that like, full on A tier, like this controller is just immaculate in like every situation. This is great for fighting games. It's great for 3D platformers. But, it's not as well-rounded as some of the other things that we have on the list.
The things that it does great, it does great.
That's why I believe A minus.
Okay. A minus, I agree.
All right, and then I want to quickly talk about the GameCube controller, because this thing just fucks up everything I love about the GameCube controller. It's hard for me to say exactly why, because I haven't used this thing since I was a kid, but I remember hating it. For the first part, it makes the section, like the design of the controller just feels so much more goofy. Like it takes away that rigid confidence of the original, and now it just looks like a weird, like, it looks like all drooly and droopy, and it's like, I don't know. The triggers are not comfortable on this thing. Unless if I remember incorrectly, I remember them not really being pressure triggers. They were more, it felt weird clicking down on them. Plus it's GameStop too, so that's like negative aura points on that. Just like, I don't know. I don't like this one. F tier on the GameStop GameCube controller. Donovan, have you ever used that thing before?
Nope, and I should be thankful.
Yeah, don't. Next up, we are entering into the modern age slowly but surely. We have the Wiimote. So we're just going to be talking about first the Wiimote by itself. So I guess either pointing it at the screen or using it sideways, which is often the case with like 2D platformers, or if you're one of the brave souls that plays Mario Kart Wii with the Wii wheel.
Honestly, I think for the grading, I'm just going to combine Wii Remote and the Nunchuk together.
Fine, whatever. We can do that.
Do you like the Wii condom?
Holy shit. Yeah, the
Wii Remote jacket.
I just wasn't ready for you to just say it like that. But yeah, no, you don't know where that Wii Remote has been. You know what I mean? You don't know what diseases could be.
It could have been somewhere.
Donovan. Oh, okay. All right. So anyway,
I show Speed's mouth.
Holy shit. All right. So
motion controls.
Oh, yeah. Sorry, my brain just cut off for a few seconds there. Yeah, motion controls about this thing. For the most part, I think that they were fine, especially once the Wii Motion Plus was, brought with Wii Sports Resort. So if you have Wii Motion Plus, I think that does fix or alleviate some of the motion control issues, but there definitely were a lot of games that kind of forced them in. But I feel like a lot of the time that would be more so with the game design itself and not the controller. With that being said, you can't argue that this is like the greatest controller of all time. For what it is, I think it does its job. It's good for bringing that casual audience over to the Wii. Honestly, I feel like for what it is, like using it sideways to play like a 2D platformer, it isn't as bad as people say. Like, I mean, it's not great, but like, it works.
It's all right.
It's fine. I like how the A button is like like glass. It's really
Oh
funny.
yeah, I think that's a little bougie. I think this controller is just super easy to understand for like an average Joe, like 45-year-old Jim just came back from work, doesn't play video games much, but a Wii remote it'll speak to him. It's a very simple controller to just understand, I think. And it's definitely the easiest controller to understand out of every controller that we talked about and will be talking about. I again, the gun part, the B button on the back feels pretty good. The speaker is so funny. Bring it back. 1 and 2, they're a little small, but they're fine. They do the job and substitute A and B when you hold it sideways. And again, the Wii remote is very versatile for different form factors, you could say. I mean, just imagine all the shells that they made. The Wii wheel. It's just plastic, but it just transforms the controller. And then you got the nunchuck for more hardcore games.
Hardcore games.
Yeah, it feels a little disconnected. I'm not sure how I feel about the wire. The wire in the middle always pissed me off as a kid and even now. There's something about the control stick that, although similar to the GameCube controller, it feels a lot more looser, and I don't really like that, but it did retain the notches. I like that. And again, the Z button, the gun, feels great, but it feels very weightless. And also, why is the C button just a circle and why is it small?
I do think the Wii Remote and Nunchuk do work actually really well. I would go as far as to say that the Wiimote and Nunchuk on its own, I would give like a B. Like, I honestly love using the Wiimote and Nunchuk most of the time. The Wiimote by itself, I would probably give like a C. So combine those two, I say like B-.
Yeah, overall, I'd give the Wii Remote... a B-. Now, we also have the Wii Classic Controllers, Classic Controller and Classic Controller Pro.
Yeah, I've never used the Classic Controller. I know it's a little bit more leaning towards like... It's definitely there to be able to play like NES or SNES games. And then you have the Classic Controller Pro that actually gives you those grips in that standard like analog stick format. The Classic Controller Pro is a beautiful controller, like incredible.
I think it's good. Weightless, again, requires the Wii remote, so it's not truly wireless for some reason. The ZR and ZL, this is the start of Nintendo just ditching the analog trigger from the GameCube and going back to just a digital button. I like the control sticks at the bottom. They feel like a PlayStation controller. I just feel that the glossy finish on the face of the controller is not very fun to hold after long sweaty sessions. And
long
it's also
sweaty
weightless.
sessions.
Yeah, so
No, it's just like, Donovan, I'm biased because people that play Mario Kart Wii competitively with this controller know that it is peak. It is peak.
I like the D-pad.
Donovan. Yes. It's just so comfortable.
It's comfortable, yeah. But again, after those long sweaty sessions, the smearing and smudging on the face.
I hate the way
the face buttons.
I hate the verbs that you're using.
And this is also going to be a problem in our next few controllers.
Right.
But I don't really like the glossy finish of it. On the on the bottom of the Classic Controller Pro, especially, it has a more matte texture. I do like that, but then you got the glossy finish on the top. I'd give it a B.
All right, I'll compromise on a B. That's fine. I do wish the Wii Classic Controller was compatible with more Wii games, but for what it is, like with what it is compatible with, I think it is a really good controller. All right, moving on to everyone's favorite Wii U. Donovan, this is your favorite console, right?
Oh, this is certainly my favorite.
Yeah. The Wii U Gamepad. Well, you didn't own a Wii U, so have you used the Wii U Gamepad?
Yeah, I've used the Wii U Gamepad. It feels ergonomically nice. It's got a bit of an ass.
It does have an ass. Surprisingly, the Wii U Gamepad is comfortable to hold. You would think that having that gigantic screen in the middle would make it feel weird. It actually is pretty comfortable. A lot of it's kind of weird how the two analog sticks are like both at the top. And that's more of a problem with the Wii U Pro Controller, which we'll get to in a second. But the Gamepad, I'm actually a fan of. I don't like the battery life. That is the biggest drawback of this thing for me, and definitely the reason why I'm not going to score it as high as it probably deserves to be scored. And the screen feels very weird. Like it doesn't feel comfortable to tap on.
It's not a capacitive. I forget what the other screen is called, but...
Yeah, I'm just gonna act like I know what the fuck capacitive means, but yeah, I agree.
I do like how it has a camera, and with that, a built-in sensor bar. That's kind of cool.
It is. It's cool how it functions as like a TV remote too.
I just feel like there's the whole NFC reader for Amiibo, but I feel like that's just a weird spot to put it. Why not just put it underneath the screen? It just feels like a waste of space. It just looks like a Fisher Price toy. Looks like a Leapfrog if it got a few extra dollars put into it. Again, glossy finish. Every Wii U gamepad I've seen looks disgusting. It looks gross.
Yeah, there are.
Wash your hands.
There's got to be diseases on most Wii U gamepads.
But I mean, it's just a basic tablet controller. Nothing too wrong about it.
Yeah, nothing to like write home about. I would give the Wii U gamepad a B-.
Yeah, that's what I was about to say.
I wish I could give it a higher score. It's just that the 3-hour battery life where it doesn't even hold the battery is honestly C+. The battery thing kills it.
As someone who's definitely experienced a Wii U and its terrible battery life, I could see that being a factor as to why you put it into C.
All right, and then moving on to the Wii U Pro Controller, I want to like this thing so bad. I mean, this is one where that glossy finish does come into play for sure. It's weird how the 2 analog sticks are still at the top, even though they shrunk it to a normal size of a controller. Also, the shape of it is kind of bizarre, like how the top also indents down. It feels like the controller's like
cheap to me.
Yeah, but it also just feels like the controller's like frowning at you. You know what I mean? Like it just looks angry.
My biggest problem is the lack of a gyroscope and accelerometer.
Oh, that too.
Motion. Yeah. So there's an official Nintendo image. If you want to play 2-player Splatoon, you have to tie a Wii remote to the bottom of the Wii U Pro Controller,
which is insane.
They use the shoelace to tie it up.
Absolutely insane.
Hilarious. For that alone, I'm putting it below the gamepad and C+.
I think it should be like C-. I think for most Wii U games, if not all Wii U games, I would prefer using a Wii U gamepad. So honestly, I would say like D. Like I just think that this controller, especially for the price tag too, is like I would not recommend anyone buy this.
Amazing
thing.
battery life, I'm pretty sure.
I mean, sure, but like I would still rather just deal with the battery life of the gamepad than use the Pro Controller instead. Yeah. Okay. All right, C-. We can agree on a C-. All right, and are you ready to move into the more modern day of the Switch generations? First up, the Switch Joy-Cons. We can combine using them sideways, like by itself or multiplayer, and like with the grip. I think the Switch Joy-Cons on the original Switch are okay. They're definitely small, especially whenever you're using it by itself. The buttons are tiny. The D-pad is weird, but I mean it's excusable because they kind of had to make it that way. I wasn't even bringing up Joy-Con drift, but that's also a factor. I do like the aesthetic of the way they look. Like they look cool.
Yeah.
But I weirdly like the trigger, even though I wish it was analog. It does feel kind of comfortable to like rest your pointer finger on the trigger. That's about as far as my compliments will go. And also they are technologically, whatever the word is, very advanced. They crammed a bunch of stuff into it. On the downside, it causes them to be very expensive.
The IR camera.
Yeah, the IR camera.
Thank God they got rid of the glossy finish finally.
Yeah.
This is my opinion. I think they are one of the most versatile controllers ever. They are the Swiss Army knife. It's kind of like it's like Master of None, but it does pretty much everything. I think the fact that it basically is 2 controllers, the fact I could just slide up a Joy-Con and hand it to a friend instantly I think that is so just genius. And the fact that it works not only vertically but horizontally, and everything just works perfectly fine, and you just get it, you just know it. I think that is really cool. I greatly appreciate that. HD rumble feels pretty good. It felt pretty good for the time. The IR camera is stupid. Joy-Con drift is stupid. Though I will say all my Joy-Cons drifted. But then after I sent them in for repair, and when I bought new ones in like 2022 or 2023, they have never drifted since. So I'm pretty sure Nintendo changed up how they make their control sticks. So I'll give them some credit. Maybe later Joy-Con revisions fare better than older ones. But, I mean, you also got built-in amiibo support on the right Joy-Con, and again, motion controls, which just enables a whole new way to play for more simple controls for little Timmy or grandma. I just think it's super versatile, but there's also a lot of drawbacks with the small size, again, Joy-Con drift, useless IR camera. So where would we place that? And also, you got the grip as well.
I would say combining everything like a C. I just don't think that the originals.
C.
I don't think that they've held up well enough to be on par with the things that are in B. Maybe C plus. I could see an argument.
I'd say C plus or B minus. I'd say B minus because of just the versatility and the technological genius behind it. All right.
I'll let you win me over with a B minus.
Now the Switch Pro controller.
Beautiful. Oh, dude, the Switch Pro controller. Okay, Donovan. I love how the Switch Pro controller has that like translucent finish, so you can kind of like see like the inner workings a little bit.
Yeah, there's even a little Easter egg inside of it.
I know.
Do you know about that?
I didn't know. What is the Easter egg?
Oh, if you move the right control stick down, you can see at the very top it says "Thicks all game fans."
Oh, that's cute. I did not know that. No, the Switch Pro controller, pretty much everything about that thing is perfect. Like, honestly, the only thing is the D-pad. The D-pad is a little bit hard feeling. Like, it's kind of pointy.
I think there's different feeling D-pads from when I've bought Pro controllers. So I think earlier D-pads, I definitely, like, I could compare it right now. They definitely feel like garbage. But then later D-pads, I actually think they got a little bit better, and I kind of like them.
Yeah, I think the original Switch Pro controller is also not super durable. I remember my original one that I bought did break down rather quickly compared to other controllers, especially the analog sticks. But for what it is, it's so comfortable to use with like any genre of game. The gyroscope works pretty well. It just looks very aesthetic. It's very modern feeling. It's just like, I would say the Switch Pro controller is a solid A.
Yeah, I'd give it a solid A as well. It's beautiful.
It's beautiful.
Now we move on to Switch 2, which is pretty much the same thing. So
it's the same.
Joy-Con 2.
It's the same thing, but just better. It's the Joy-Con 2 are a little bit bigger, so they're a little bit more comfortable, especially when playing sideways. I personally like the way they look more. I really like the more modern look where the color is just kind of hiding underneath the analog stick. I think it looks very nice.
The magnetic attachments.
Yes, it feels so satisfying to just click it like on and off. Just click. I was gonna say it's orgasmic, but I felt like that's
it's orgasmic.
Probably too.
Again, on the technological prowess, it's once again kind of a master of none, but it does improve on a lot of things. And with one new addition, mouse controls. Now, I have very tiny hands, so my experience may differ from others, but without any attachments, I used mouse controls for pretty much the entirety of Metroid Prime 4 Beyond, and I really liked them. Could I use just a regular mouse and get a better experience? Yes, but the thing about the Joy-Con 2 is that you know everything is just there. You don't need to think about it. You got two controllers there. You got motion controls there. You got a mouse there. You got a standard controller there. It has everything, and I think mouse controls is another good addition. And also, thank God SL and SR are actually clickable without straps. They got rid of the IR camera. Boo-hoo.
I think that the Switch 2 Joy-Cons is just a B. I think it's just like a slightly upgraded version of the original Joy-Cons. You know what I mean? Like, I think it deserves
Solid
that. It's a perfectly usable controller. Now, Switch 2 Pro Controller, the best Nintendo controller of all time.
I'm sorry. We're being lame.
No, it is. No, but it is.
I agree.
It is.
It's an A+.
The Switch 2 controller, like the Switch Pro Controller was already a pretty easy contender for the greatest of all time. But the Switch 2 Pro Controller takes what the original did and makes it even more aesthetic. I love the like light gray hinge on the top. I love the way the D-pad feels on the Switch 2 Pro Controller compared to the original Switch Pro Controller. It just feels so strong. Like, it feels so comfortable. It's like if the Switch Pro Controller was...
If you rage quit, you are not breaking the controller. You are breaking whatever it hits.
Yeah, it just feels so rigid. Like, if the Switch Pro Controller was orgasmic, Donovan, you don't even want to know what this is.
This is the second best controller of all time, right?
DualSense.
DualSense. I think the DualSense, like, we're comparing, like, other controllers now. This is how good this controller is. What the DualSense has over the Nintendo Switch 2 Pro Controller is our adaptive triggers. I do like the haptic feedback better in the DualSense, but HD Rumble 2 does take the cake for second place. It is very close. I do like, again, the speaker on the DualSense is really funny. The light is also kind of cool, but not necessary. And I do like the addition of the touchpad. It just adds another input device that is very nice. But the Switch 2 Pro Controller, there's something about the texture that feels softer in the hands, and I like that. The control sticks, they feel so good. They feel buttery smooth. They are so quiet. The face buttons also feel they sound much quieter. And they're definitely bigger, and I like that. But they have a more tactile feel than a clickier button of the original Pro Controller.
It's not all about size, Donovan. You know, I feel like the buttons are, like you said, they feel better to click, and that's the important part. It's about the motion of the ocean with the controller.
Yeah. The gyroscope and accelerometers are definitely better than the DualSense. That's one thing that's also better than the DualSense. I wish there was analog triggers, but I'm not that worked up about ZL and ZR being digital. It's all right. Some people actually prefers digital buttons. What else? Again, HD Rumble 2 feels great. Control sticks are immaculate. Perfect controller.
No, they're literally A+, easy pick. I feel bad that we
Headphone jack as well.
Yeah, that too. I feel bad that we just made people sit through the entire podcast just for our pick to be super easy and the last one that we talked about.
There you have it.
All right, well, so that is the official special hour or not even ranking, I guess just grading
report card.
Yeah, report card of the Nintendo Pro or Nintendo controllers in general. If you have any ideas for random spin-off episodes we could do like this whenever we have a slow week, feel free to let us know. Donovan, where can people find you?
I'm on YouTube, DonovanDud. I'm also on Discord with the server, the Nintendo Boys. I'm also on Twitter and Instagram. What about you?
So I am MrDean44. I am on YouTube. I make lots of Nintendo videos. If you enjoyed Nintendo, which I would assume you did if you clicked on this video, then feel free to check me out. Yeah, no, I actually hate them. I decided to listen to people talk about their controllers, but I don't like them. So I am on YouTube. You can find me on Twitter, on Blue Sky, and then also feel free to join my Discord server, the Dean Kingdom. It's a Discord server, that's for sure. Bye.
Bye.